Where's the help? I am resident of Collinwood for YouTube. I have no sanity. I need help. No, we're not talking Strange Paradise because I will put a needle through my goddamn eye. That is my buddy Daniel Culver. That is my buddy Patrick McCray. That's my buddy Gordon Dymowski. We're here to review The Raven. Really fun movie. Directed by Roger Corman, screenplay by Richard Matheson, based on The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, produced by Roger Corman, starring Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff, Hazel Court.
Yeah. She was Paul McCartney's girlfriend.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson is in this bad boy, and he is too. He's funny. And that's, so when did you guys first see The Raven starring Vincent Price? Gordon?
I probably saw it when I was a kid because I was one of the highlights of growing up in Chicago was watching the Sons Svengoolie Saturdays on Channel 32. And they had all the Corman films, so they would show those in rapid succession. So it was my first introduction to kind of gothic horror, and this especially to horror comedy, because it's, although there are some unpleasant moments, I'll say, it's really leavened with a lot of humor and wit and fun. And, you know, it's something that I wish we had a lot more of in the last movie we saw. And if you're not sure what we're talking about, people should just go to Jules' YouTube site. You look it up. You know, we've all decided to submerge our collective trauma and move forward. So that was my experience.
Patrick, when did you first see this movie?
I saw this in probably in graduate school, maybe after. I had some friends who were big fans of Corman and the Corman Poe stuff, and they had a big release, I think late 90s on VHS, that wound up in the Anchor Bay collection fairly quickly, and so we snapped a bunch of them up. And I was in graduate school, yeah, and but oh no, I didn't see this until much later. I saw this around the time that Phantom Menace came out, because we kept joking about how it would take a team of 30 digital animators at ILM, 6 months on IMAX to produce the kind of effects that they did in this movie. And you have a great time watching it. It's a weirdly meditative movie because there's not a lot of dialogue for long sequences. I mean, Richard Matheson's screenplay must have been on a match cover, because there's a lot of wacky music and Lotsie. And I really think maybe Corman just turned the camera on and said, Peter, Vincent, just do your thing. Peter, Vincent, do your thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Daniel, when did you first see this movie?
Actually, you guys probably already guessed, but I actually just saw this today. But what's actually interesting about it is I'm actually surprised I didn't watch this in high school. Like, maybe my teacher didn't know about it though. But yeah, we actually did a thing about The Raven in high school. I think it was either my junior or senior year. But weirdly, we didn't watch this. We watched the Simpsons clip instead. But it was kind of the same logic as this. It was more comedic than the original story.
Yeah.
Peter Lorre in the bird outfit. That's too good.
Yeah, I'm surprised that image got past the censors back in the early 60s. I mean, men in bird outfits, that was kind of a weird thing. Kids, look it up on Wikipedia. Trust me on this.
If I can find it, that's gonna be our thumbnail. Just Peter Lorre in the bird costume.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that actually.
Yeah. This movie is just really funny. It's hilarious. It's not meant to be really taken that seriously, and you know it, and it knows it too. It knows it's a comedy. And what a great job by Vincent Price and Peter Lorre. They go back and forth really well. And you know what? I don't see too many Jack Nicholson funny performances in his career too much, but this was nice to see because this is very early on. Um, what did what did you guys think of Vincent Price, Peter Lorre here? Because Peter Lorre, I remember him from like some noir movies and stuff like that, but this was something a lot different.
Well, I think here he's pretty much playing against type because he's not like the creepy old man. He's kind of the comic goofy guy. Um, and I think too, it's probably because he had done all those noir films, and I think around this time he was shifting into that kind of um, a nice kind of settled career as a grand old man of horror, the same way that Peter Cushing did, Christopher Lee did, Karloff did, Price at this point to some extent, and I think he works because you need someone who, he's coded because of like past performances. People would think, oh, maybe he's the guy who's not to be trusted. And when you see him as a kind of this comic foil, you go, okay, I can roll with this. I know he's going to goof off. He's going to do something inappropriate later, but for now, we're with him on the journey.
Yeah. Uh, Daniel, what did you think of Peter Lorre here in this role?
I think he did a good job. I would say, yeah, he did a very good job with this character. And yeah, especially like him with Gordon mentioning, like, he kind of went against the typecast a little bit. That's pretty cool because a lot of people can't do that. And yeah, it's just like, I think people would enjoy this performance even if they don't know much about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Patrick, what did you think?
Of the movie?
Oh no, Peter Lorre's performance.
Oh, Peter Lorre's performance. It's hilarious. It may be the highlight of the film, really. I mean, he's lovable and a weasel and cowardly and identifiable. I think it's a real pleasure in the film, and he has chemistry that works with both the other performers. I think quite well, and the idea of Jack Nicholson sprouting from his loins is one I'll never be able to get out of my mind.
Well, we don't know. Maybe he did sprout from Peter Lorre's loins. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things in Jack Nicholson's background that we could talk about, but we're talking about the Raven.
You have to ask his obstetrician.
Yeah.
Speaking of obstetricians, Jewel is not with us, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, he's muted and his camera's off.
All right, very good. What inspirations, if any, do you think Matheson went to, or this is just complete whole cloth? Are the characters named, Erasmus and so on in the Poe canon somewhere?
I'm not that familiar with the I know the plot summaries. I don't know the exact details, so I have no idea. I'm assuming that Matheson was just like, okay, Roger wants me to write this goofy postscript. I'm just going to pull these. Yeah, I think he just pulled them out of his ass, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Matheson, okay, what do I call? Okay, it's Erasmus and Delbo. I mean, Lenore is the obvious cop because
Sure.
there is an actual Lenore. But everyone else, that's I really don't know. I'm sure that if some intrepid young person wanted to spend time looking it up, fine. I think it kind of works. It works either way if they are nods or not nods. But to answer your question, I honestly don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Because, this is a tough thing to adapt, and so he didn't. I mean, how could you? It just becomes its own thing. Now, I haven't seen any of the other things entitled The Raven. I know there was something that came out last year, maybe? The year
There's one
before?
with, there's one. Yeah, I think there's one a few years ago with John Cusack as Edgar Allan Poe solving murders.
Okay.
I did not see it because I have a I do not care for John Cusack as a human being. He's an okay actor, but when
What
he's
was
in
he doing?
Chicago back in the day, he'd do a lot of he would basically badmouth like, "Oh, Hollywood's too good for me. I want to do theater here in Chicago." Blah blah blah. So he's a bit kind of. I have no problem with, hey, I like to do stage as much as theater, but he has a bit of an ego, and so it's kind of a Chicago thing, you know, growing up and hearing him kind of
It sounds
be
like
a
he
little
likes Chicago, though.
what?
Sounds like he likes it. He
No,
likes the
he
city.
he does, but it's for me, it's more about his attitude about his work. Where it's like he formed a theater called New Crime because he's going to use theater as a new form of crime to change the masses, that kind of thing.
Was he a
Yep.
bad villain?
What in the Raven, he was Edgar Allan Poe, but he was like solving murders. That's the whole plot of the movie.
Well, what has happened to his career? Because I haven't seen him do anything in years.
He's one of the he pops up now and then, but he hasn't really done a lot. I think that the Raven was like part of his last. He did like a run of movies from the early 2000s to a few years ago. Like he did one called Max, which is about an American, an American who goes to Germany and he discovers a young artist goes to Germany in the
Oh, okay.
1930s, and he meets a
Gee.
young painter who wants to support. I'll just leave that there because we don't. Let's just say that the painter turns into a guy with a familiar square mustache who is not Charlie Chaplin. Let's just spoilers.
Well, for the Raven here for shooting, the film was shot in 15 days. Roger Corman said that although they kept closely to the structure and story script, we did more improvisation on that film than any of the others during shooting. Peter Lorre ad-libbed a number of lines in the film, including "How the hell should I know?" After Vincent Price asked, "Shall I ever see the rare and radiant Lenore again?" Roger Corman said that Laurie's improvisations confused both Vincent Price and Boris Karloff, but Price adapted to it well while Karloff struggled. Overall, I would say we had as good a spirit on the Raven as any I've ever worked on. So that's fun. Yeah, so that's funny. There's Patrick, but yeah, this Nicholson's actually he's very funny in this. You have Laurie's Boris Karloff for all the serious like magic to do. It's just fun to watch that him and Vincent Price go back and forth shooting the magic at each other. That's hilarious to me.
But it's like the ending of, or I should say, the ending of Big Trouble in Little China owes a lot to this movie. When Lo Pan and Egg Shen are going at it with their video game avatars.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? They come out of their rings and they sort of do this.
Yeah, it does. I would agree with you because when you watch when I was watching this today, I'm thinking, yeah, because I'm thinking of the guys from Big Trouble from Little Chinatown, like the lightning dudes, and it's like that's as slapstick as this is. So, which is a lot of fun.
Slappiest.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah, and I wonder if this was filmed like I'm assuming it was filmed like after some of the other Poe films were filmed because they're still standing sets. Because they would have had to been like fun. It's like, okay, we're going to be gloomy and gothy and fun for 4 weeks, and then for 15 days, it's like, yeah, let's just camp it up. Let's just be funny.
Isn't it amazing? With just a little more lighting, all those sets become hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this movie, let's see. Its release date was January 23rd, 1963. The country, United States, obviously. Budget was 350,000. It made a lot of money. Box office 1,499,275. So it made its money back. And then some. Nice. here's a question for you guys: did Roger Corman sort of know he kind of wanted to, in a sense? I know they ad lib stuff in this movie, but did he know that that he wanted to sort of kind of, in a sense, spoof the Raven to a degree?
Yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
always had a good sense of humor about the Poe stuff.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in my opinion, it was probably intentional. Yeah.
yeah. um, I tell you what's fun too is what's that other movie I'm thinking of? I don't know if we did it or not, where the guy goes to the castle and Vincent Price is in the castle.
That
Oh,
sounds
is it
like Master at Death.
the Pit and the Pendulum? Yeah,
Wow.
um, it's the one I was thinking of. That movie has, it's a little more serious than this one, but even that has a degree of some, like, you're sort of like, wait, what's going on in this weird castle
Mm.
now? Yeah, the Red Masquerade of that movie, yeah, that's serious. That's yeah. That one I saw on TCM years and years and years ago. um this one here, I forget what channel I saw it on. It wasn't TCM, but it was on a local channel. But it was real fun to watch. So, and it is funny to see Peter Lorre, someone who's usually playing these roles that are like where he's holding a gun at somebody, to be dressed like this kooky Raven. I like when Vincent Price like pets his arm or grabs his arm and the
Mhm.
feather comes off. It's just hilarious. Um, what's some of you guys' favorite scenes, Gordon?
Let's see. Um, I'm gonna go with the first when they enter and first meet Boris Karloff, who's like um doing the whole super polite kind of, oh no, we weren't enemies, we had a difference of opinion, and it was, I thought that was just so clever to not do the big, oh yeah, we were enemies, and it's that kind of the humor that leads to the twist that feels like there are consequences. So that's my favorite scene.
Cool. Patrick?
Oh, I think any of the stuff with Jack Nicholson and Peter Lorre. I think they have a lot of good chemistry. He is a welcome new note to enter the movie.
Yeah. Daniel, what's some of your favorite scenes, man?
I'd say definitely the scene where they were fighting with the magic. That was pretty cool. I would say with the second one is when like he got hair from his dad's grave, and then the body grabbed him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Be careful. Beware. Yeah.
really
Which is,
ominous thing.
yeah, it's hilarious and it's meant to be. Gosh. I give this movie a 10, guys. This is a fun watch. It's hilarious. And to see these stars that you know from horror, to do this kind of fun stuff, to do this sort of slapstick fun comedy. You get Boris Karloff, you get Vincent Price, um, Peter Lorre, a young Jack Nicholson. It's a hoot. It's an absolute hoot. Um, is there anything you guys want to add before we go about this movie?
Nope.
No. Um, link to Gordon Dymowski's Amazon page and website's going to be in the description box. Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Daybook About is going to be in the description box. Link to Daniel Culver's YouTube channel. Magic Dove's going to be in the description box. And yes, link to Alan Gillette's YouTube channel. Cullen's Port After Dark will be in the description box.
What's the next movie?
What's that?
What's the next movie?
That's a good question. It was supposed to be Alan's turn. He's not here.
I have one.
Good.
It may be if people want to veto it, that's fine. I was going to suggest Lords of Salem.
We can watch it.
Was that on any streaming services?
We'll look. We'll look. But if it's not, I do have a backup. If it's not Godzilla 1984, if that's not available, if Lords of Salem is not available, because Godzilla is
No,
available.
no, is that the one where Godzilla is in like fluorescent parachute pants dancing to Duran Duran?
It's a theme song.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to confirm
Oh my god!
because I was thinking it was either that or Night of the Comet, and I know I knew it was one of those with the Godzilla with the fluorescent
Great movie.
pants and the dancing. So it's good. It's good to know it's Godzilla 1984.
Yes, something like that. But if we can't find Lords of Salem, we'll go with Godzilla 1984. But if I find Lords of Salem, I'll send it to you guys, or if anybody finds it, send it to me or whatever. But this has been a lot of fun. I don't know if Microsoft Teams will work for me. Gordon, can we use your Zoom if it doesn't?
Well, not tomorrow because I'm going to be
okay.
I'll be running, but we can make arrangements.
Okay, thank you. You guys have a good night. Stay safe.
Good night, all.
Take care. Bye.
Yep. Bye, guys.